Happy 4th of July. Today on Sports Card Investor, we're counting down the top 10 most patriotic sports cards of all time.
My name is Jeff Wilson. By day, I invest in tech companies, and at night, I invest in sports cards. Join me on my journey to profit from the hobby we all love.
Hello, sports card investors, and happy Independence Day. I hope you've had a restful day. Hopefully you've had a couple of hot dogs, maybe grilled a burger or two. Maybe you've had a beer or 7. Maybe it's that kind of day. But whatever kind of day it is for you, I hope it's a great one. Maybe you've got some fireworks in your future if you haven't already seen them. And hey, we're here at Sports Card Investor to hopefully make the day a little better by celebrating 10 incredible sports cards that symbolize America and that symbolize the red, white, and blue. Very fitting for today. This episode of Sports Card Investor is brought to you by eBay, your #1 spot for cards and collectibles. With the largest inventory of sports cards from vintage to modern to exclusives you don't want to miss, and the largest community of sellers, eBay is the leading place to buy, sell, and invest your cards. And by the way, since it's a holiday, if you find yourself with a little extra time on your hands, you've got to download the brand new Market Movers app. This is not the Sports Card Investor app. This is something different than the Sports Card Investor app. It's the Market Movers app. And the cool thing about this app is we're letting everybody use it up to 5 times a day for free. So even if you're not a Market Movers subscriber, you can still go into this app and check it out. It's available to download right now on the App Store on your phone, both Apple and Android. Just search Market Movers, download it, and check it out today. But now it's time. Let's get into our top 10 most patriotic cards of all time. Number 10, we are starting with Christian Pulisic and his 2018 Kaboom Gold card. What an incredible card. He's in his U.S. men's national team jersey. And what a fitting place to start, because Christian Pulisic has done such a great job of representing U.S. soccer on the international level. In fact, he became the first men's soccer player ever to win the Champions League over in Europe when he did that with Chelsea. And then he came back to the U.S. and joined the U.S. men's national team to lead them to a great victory over Mexico. Everyone's excited to see what the U.S. men's national team can do next year in the World Cup, and Christian Pulisic will be the leader of that team, so it's very fitting he started today's list. Number 9, a guy who represented the U.S. in the Olympics so well for so long, it is Michael Phelps, and this is his 2016 Topps U.S. Olympic Gold card auto, number 5. That is a big Michael Phelps card right there, and deservingly so, because this guy is an Olympic hero. There are so many of us that sat around our TVs for many different Olympic games watching this guy swim and rack up the medals. And in fact, he holds the record for the most medals ever won by an Olympic athlete. 28 is his medal total. Absolutely incredible. He is absolutely the GOAT of swimming and did such a good job of representing the U.S. on the international stage. It's awesome to have him in the number 9 spot in our countdown. Number 8, sticking with the Olympic theme, a player who is absolutely critical to the miracle on ice, Jim Craig, and this is his 1980 O-Pee-Chee rookie card. And Jim Craig, he was the goalie on that 1980 U.S. men's hockey team that went on to shock the world when they beat USSR in those Olympic semifinals that year. It was, of course, the miracle of ice. You've seen it. You all know about it. And then the U.S. went on to win the next game as well and come home with the gold medal. And Jim Craig in goal was a very, very key reason why we were able to have that success during those Olympic Games. So his card could not be more patriotic and more symbolic of America. Jim Craig, number 8 in our countdown. Number 7, staying on the world stage and going with one of the great U.S. women's soccer players, Mia Hamm, and her 1994 Upper Deck World Cup Soccer rookie card. You guys know that Mia Hamm is one of the greatest female soccer players of all time. She represented the U.S. so well in international competition for many, many, many years, and it is very fitting that this card comes in 7th in our countdown today. It is, after all, drenched in red, white, and blue with the red American flag on the card, and her, of course, wearing her U.S. women's national team jersey with the red and blue stripes on the white shirt, representing the country as she did for so many years. Mia Hamm, number 7 in our Patriotic card countdown. For the number 6 card, we're going a little different direction. We're playing into American history and the legend of the sports card hobby. And for that reason, we're going with Honus Wagner and his incredible T206 tobacco card. Now, for any of those of you who know the history of sports cards, you know that this Honus Wagner card has an incredible backstory, and it has led it to becoming the most famous sports card and perhaps the most sought after sports card of all time. This card was the first $1 million sale of a sports card ever in the history of the US, and in fact it sold for $3.7 million in May of this year. When a good condition version of this card comes up for sale, you can bet that collectors from all over are bidding and seeking this card out because of such an incredible backstory. It's a very limited edition print run of this card, mainly because the story is that Honus Wagner didn't like that his cards were associated with tobacco products and asked them to be pulled. So there were only a certain number of these cards that got out there compared to many more different types of tobacco cards from that era. That's what makes this one so incredibly rare. If you haven't read the stories, there's plenty of more backstory on that online, but undoubtedly it is such an iconic baseball card and such an iconic card for sports card history that it very much deserves its number 6 spot in our countdown. In the number 5 spot, it's hard to get more patriotic than this. The Desert Storm cards, and specifically the 1991 Topps Desert Storm edition Chipper Jones rookie card, because that was the big chase card from those Desert Storm sets. And here's the backstory. This set was specially prepared by Topps for the troops that were serving overseas. It has a gold foil Desert Storm logo on these cards, and these were sent for free in individual wax packs to the troops who were stationed in the Middle East. So this card has all kinds of patriotic value, not just the design of the card itself, and of course the red, white, and blue nature of what Chipper Jones is wearing and the Braves, but also that tie-in to the nation's military and what we were doing overseas at the time. An absolutely iconic patriotic card, Chipper Jones at number 5. In the number 4 spot, no matter your politics, we can celebrate the fact that an American presidential card certainly has patriotic value. And when that president is combined with one of the most iconic baseball players and a trailblazer in baseball, you've got a combination that puts it very fittingly at number 4 on this list. It is the Barack Obama Jackie Robinson dual auto 1-of-1 card from 2009 American Heritage. This is a cut auto card, both of their autographs cut out and put into this dual card. Absolutely iconic. As we know, Jackie Robinson was a trailblazer, an incredible baseball player, and not just that, but someone who became an incredible figure in the civil rights movement for breaking the color barrier in baseball. Someone we now celebrate as a hero, as an American hero, and pairing him with an American president certainly makes this card fitting of number 4 in our patriotic countdown. Number 3, it's one of the baseball card sets that collectors look forward to every single year because it's literally got Independence Day in the name. It's the 2018 Topps Independence Day Mike Trout card, numbered to 76. That's the one that we are featuring here. And what an incredible set of cards. Every single year in Topps flagship products, they insert these Independence Day cards, and they're big chase cards. They're only numbered to 76. So they're hard to come by, but they've got that iconic patriotic color scheme every year featuring reds and whites and blues. It is an awesome chase for US collectors, and the fact that they are numbered to just 76, that of course represents the year 1776 that the US gained its independence. So there's tons of patriotism all around when it comes with these cards. And what a better one to feature than Mike Trout, Mr. Baseball of today's day and age. There you go, number 3 on this week's list. Number 2, the greatest basketball team assembled of all time, the US Dream Team, and the 1991 Skybox Barcelona Olympics USA Dream Team card. And what a card this is for a couple of reasons. First of all, the absolutely legendary basketball players featured on this card. And second of all, because there were so many legends, Skybox actually printed on both the front and the back of this card. So both sides feature these iconic basketball players, which makes this an iconic card. And as we look back now, it's 30 years later, and we look back on this team as probably the greatest men's basketball team ever assembled, sending them off to the US Olympic Games that year. Look at the incredibly iconic lineup the US had that year. It was just absolutely amazing to think about, and absolutely deserving of number 2 in our most patriotic cards list. But for the number 1 spot, we've got to go with an incredible athlete who actually stopped his career to go represent the U.S. overseas in the war. It unfortunately cost him his life, but we can celebrate what an incredible person he was, Pat Tillman. And this iconic card, the 2020 Donruss Downtown Pat Tillman insert card, that is a lovely way to celebrate him. Certainly a card that is absolutely worthy of being our number 1 most patriotic card of all time. You guys know that Pat Tillman was an incredible football player. This guy actually won Defensive Player of the Year in 1997. He was a dominant safety for the Arizona Cardinals, but he wanted to represent his country. And he put his football career on hold at the height of his career to enlist in the U.S. military and to go serve overseas in Afghanistan. Unfortunately, his life was taken while he was overseas in Afghanistan, and he returned as a hero that had passed along. But we can remember him and remember everything that was great and bold about the decision that Pat Tillman made. And this card is just one of many ways in which we can remember him and reflect on him as an absolute American hero. Pat Tillman, very, very deserving of the number 1 spot in our patriotic card countdown. All right, guys, go enjoy the rest of your Independence Day. If there's any of the day left, go enjoy it. Go with friends and family. If you have some downtime, check out that Market Movers app. Search for Market Movers in the App Store. You're going to love it. I think it's a lot of fun. You can play around with it for free. And hey, salute to you. Happy Independence Day. Happy July 4th. Thanks for keeping things great. We will see you back in a couple of days with our next episode. Take care.